Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Hoo. On the sea, the wind was strong, and the huge waves continued to beat. After the battleship was destroyed, the dark clouds in the sky, at this moment, showed signs of dispersing, and the heavy rain slowly stopped. A gap appeared in the dark clouds. It was like being torn apart by a pair of huge hands. The dazzling sunlight fell from the gap, impartially, and all fell on Yibei's body. The gray-black body looked like a body with scales under the sunlight, but the light reflected was golden yellow. Holy Spirit. Mysterious. Powerful. On the experimental island, the mutant beasts were looking at Yibei from a distance. Unknowingly, there was no more fear in their eyes. All they replaced were surrender and awe. Wong. So powerful. It's crazy. I feel that the day of the rise of our snake clan has arrived. Snake clan, alien beasts, all must rise. Those humans, I want to eat them bit by bit, under the leadership of the king. Chi. There was a letter in his mouth. After the victory of the war, although the sacrifices were heavy, everyone was full of hope for the future. As for Yibei, when moving towards the experimental island, all attention is placed on the treasure chest. The platinum treasure chest opens. But this dazzling light can only be seen by Yibei himself. The platinum treasure chest opened slowly. It was because he opened the treasure chest once before. This time Yibei became more curious about the contents inside. His eyes widened. Chi. The letter in the mouth kept on. Okay. However, when the platinum treasure chest was fully opened, the contents of it made Yibei stunned. It's not like there was a humble bag before. In the current platinum treasure box, there was only a halo that looked hazy, and there was no real object. Anyway, Yibei couldn't understand what it was. System, what is this halo? Shinzi spit out. Yibei instinctively felt that the halo was not simple, and his body set off a long white wave on the sea. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a special gift from the platinum treasure chest. Special gift ability? Although Yibei's wisdom is very good, it is inevitable to get confused when facing this kind of answer. Explain. There was a lot of curiosity in the excited voice. As the name implies, the special ability granted is actually the name of a kind of ability. If it works, as long as the host swallows this halo, the host can grant them an ability to all creatures within the scope of the host domain in the future. Beyond the scope of the field, the ability will be invalid. The sound of the system is cold. Laugh. After hearing this answer, Yibei's eyes suddenly lit up. Hiss. With a letter spit in his mouth, he took a hard breath. After understanding, his heartbeat accelerated. This ability is not inferior to the Chinkuan bag. Special grant abilities. This means that if you open the domain yourself and put all the snakes in the domain, you can grant all the pythons the ability to breathe fire, or the ability to move freely under the water. With this ability, the power of the entire snake clan army, and even the entire mutant beast group has increased hundreds of times. Yes, it really is what came out of the platinum treasure chest. Chi. When he was speaking, after Yibei opened his mouth abruptly, he swallowed the halo with the platinum treasure chest in one mouthful. After the magical halo entered Yibei's mouth, it immediately turned into a wonderful energy flowing in his body. Then, Yibei found that there was a magical ability in his mind, as if it was a halo, with a lot of tentacles sticking out in it. As long as he was willing, those tentacles would spread out wildly, and the creatures in the domain are linked, giving them great power. Wow! The body continues to move towards the experimental island. Ability bestowed. After obtaining this ability, Yibei's plan was directly changed. The experimental islands have been destroyed by bombs. Next, it's time to leave this place. The outside world is quite exciting. Wow! Zizi. Yibei returned to the beach on the experimental island, and his body over 100 meters long emerged from the sea. The snake tribe, the mutant lion group, and the surviving mutant beasts all had their eyes on Yibei. As for this island, there were still many surviving mercenaries running towards the beach, trying to return to the ship and then escape. When Yi-Bei swallowed the high level of the mercenary organization, those humans had all died. None of them survived. Wow. The huge body makes waves. Occupying on the beach, the terrifying aura exuding from his body made all mutant beasts only surrender in their hearts. King. Sorry, King. We didn't guard the experimental island well. Wong. All this is our fault. Please be punished by the king. Wong Won, Chunhua Chioyue, and 9 boa constrictors looking for joy felt the terrible breath of Yi-Bei's body, and they couldn't help shaking. When Yi-Bei left, he clearly told them to prevent humans from landing on the experimental island. But now, humans have not only come up, they have also killed countless mutant beasts. Although the experimental island won in the end, the price paid was too great. Chi-Chi. Hearing such a voice, Yi-Bei just spit out the letter softly, without speaking immediately. 3 mental powers. The realm envelopes all the 30 kilometers in diameter around the beach. Human corpses. The corpses of the mutant beasts. The remains of the broken limbs, soaked in the rain, were all clearly presented in front of Yi-Bei's eyes. Haha. However, Yi-Bei's attention soon moved away from the corpses and placed it on the mutant beasts that were still alive on the beach. There are 1,003 reticulated pythons that are still alive. There are 8 blood pythons. This time there was such a big noise that none of the snake clan died. The result made Yi-Bei more satisfied. But the mutant lion group is much more miserable. The golden lions were all covered with scars and blood. There were originally 53 mutant lions, but now there are only 31 left, and each of them bears terrible scars, plus the soaking of rain. The smell continues. Emanated from them. The worst is the mutant beast on this island. There were tens of thousands of mutant beasts, but now standing on the beach, there are only 3,876 alive. Even some mutant birds lost a lot under the attack of artillery fire. Call. After probably analyzing the situation on the experimental island, Yi-Bei exhaled. Roar. Then, a terrible roar erupted from his mouth. Humans, ignore our lives and wantonly slaughter. This incident must not be left alone. Although all these mercenaries have died, their base is still there. Let's go to the mercenary base together. Kill them all. The voice was cold. Murderous. The dark clouds receded. The violent sea breeze blew past, and it was still raining heavily just now, and in a blink of an eye, the entire experimental island became sunny. The dark clouds turned into white clouds, just like cotton candy. Above the sky, a dazzling sun hung, dazzling light sprinkled on the beach, making every grain of sand reflect the dazzling gold. After being washed by heavy rain, the leaves of the big trees became greener. If you look at it from a distance, the current experimental island is definitely the perfect holiday destination. However, as long as you get closer, you will find that this island is full of death after the war. Puffs of white smoke rose from the island. The smell of blood, with the sea breeze, spread everywhere, and even caused the number of carnivorous fish around the experimental island to increase sharply. On the beach, part of Yi-Bei's body was beaten by the waves from time to time. The other part of the body is erected high, showing an arc shape. Right in front of him, there were a large number of pythons and nearly 4,000 mutant beasts. The atmosphere on the scene was extremely strange. Roar. As Yi-Bei's roar fell, the top of the beach immediately boiled completely. Ho ho ho. The mutant lions, with their mouths open, roared. Ouch. Chi-Chi. Fur. Herod. The mutant beasts who survived, whether it was the leader or the ordinary beasts, also shouted. Chi. The entire snake clan, all the pythons, are spitting out letters crazily. Although the sound is different. But when these voices were transmitted to Yi-Bei's ears, they were all translated into one word. Kill. 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 The people in the mercenary base had a terrible impact on the experimental island, so that these mutant beasts were so murderous that they wanted to kill all humans right away. Zizi. On the beach, Yi-Bei's body moved slightly, and the more than 100 tons of body rubbed against the broken sand, and the screams continued. Seeing the crazy looks of these mutant beasts, Yibei's mood at this moment is quite complicated. Humanity. In my own memory, I also have a part of human beings. Before eating humans, although it was a little bloody, in the final analysis, it was those humans who were looking for death by themselves. But now, the madness of the mutant beasts made Yi-Bane a little conscious. As long as one's own side continues to develop, the conflict with humans will only become more and more intense, and sooner or later it will reach the point where it cannot be reconciled. Chi-Chi. Thinking of this, the scarlet letter in Yi-Bei's mouth spit out. The group of mutant beasts that had been noisy suddenly quieted down. At this moment, all mutant beasts, regardless of race or enemy, were all with Yi-Bei as the leader and following Yi-Bei's arrangements. In this battle, everyone was seriously injured. Similarly, there are too many battle remains on the experimental island. Although it is very cruel, they can be used as food. I will give you 3 days. These 3 days, everyone is free to eat food on the experimental island, but you must not kill each other living creatures. 3 days later, everyone will come here to gather again. When the time comes, we will go to the new world together. Yi-Bei continued. As a beast, some of the intellect possessed by human beings is deeply suppressed at this time. The battle is cruel, but it's all over. The island has an extremely rich amount of food. If all of them are thrown away, it would be a huge waste. Swallow, then become stronger. It is the most appropriate to make use of all available resources.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Snake tribe, mutant lions, mutant beasts. After hearing Yi-Bei's order, the previous haze was wiped out, and instead it was all excitement. A beast is a beast. For them, food is everything, and evolution and strengthening are everything. Wow! After answering in his mouth, the mutant beasts gathered on the beach immediately dispersed. Looking at the mutant beasts, they quickly walked out of the sadness and murderous anger just now, and then excitedly searched for food. In Yi-Bei's eyes, a cold light flashed. Although the power of the beast is strong, especially the mutated reticulated python group, also opened up spiritual wisdom. However, there is still a long way to go before truly surpassing human beings. Wang Chunhua Qiyu, have fun, and the Golden Lion, you all stay. Seeing that these guys were also preparing to go away, and then looking for food to swallow, Yi-Bei vomited a letter without any emotion in his voice. Okay. Hearing this voice, Wang Chunhua Qiyu, their bodies were stunned for pleasure, and a great fear spread throughout their bodies. As for the Golden Lion, as the king of the jungle, he was much calmer, stopped, his eyes flickered slightly, and signaled the other mutant lions to look for food, and then looked at Yi-Bei with endless surrender in his eyes. Silence. Wow. Only the sound of waves hitting the beach from time to time. Seeing the 10 guys stop, Yi-Bei didn't speak. His pitch-black pupils were extremely deep, staring at them all the time. 9 pythons trembling. The Golden Lion, after being stared at by Yi-Bei, also felt fear. A full minute passed. Just when these guys were about to collapse, Yi-Bei finally spit out the letter slowly. Snake Clan, not cowards. Wang, you are indeed very good at preserving your strength this time. But in the future, when there is a battle, you will definitely not be like it's the same this time. All go to hide.
Yes.
Wang lowered his head and quickly answered. Golden Lion's performance is good. After destroying the mercenary base, I will let your mutant lion clan turn on all their wisdom. Yes, King. The Golden Lion's tone was excited. There are rewards and punishments. Although he has completely controlled these beasts in front of him, he still counts on them to take care of the mutant beasts at the bottom and occasionally use some small methods that is necessary. Okay, not far from here, there is a ship. Let's go over there first. After Yi-Bei left these words, his body's muscles contracted quickly. That huge body left a ravine more than 2 meters deep on the beach, but it was extremely flexible in action. Yes, Golden Lion. There were also 9 pythons, although they didn't know what Yi-Bei was going to do, but they immediately agreed and followed Yi-Bei. The other side, the back of the earth. The behind-the-scenes boss of the mercenary organization, The white man with shiny hair and 30 or 7 minutes, with trembling hands, is constantly making a red call on the table. The cold sweat on his forehead was still there, and all his eyes were excited, even more crazy than the head of the mercenary organization. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. While the white man made the call, on the big ship where Yibei took the 9 pythons and the golden lion, a red phone kept ringing, which was extremely strange. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. The experimental island, near a sandy beach, was parked with a large ship. After the storm was over, under the sun, the ship reflected colorful light. There was silence around, but the ringing of the telephone suddenly appeared, making this place look strange. Zzz. Not far away. Yibena twisted the huge body, crushing the beach, and the sizzling voice began to intertwine with the jingle bell. Wong. I seemed to hear a strange sound. Wong, who was following Yibei, had heard the sound of the phone a long time ago, but he was still not sure. As the distance got closer and the voice became clearer, he couldn't help but spit out the letter and directed Yibei said, "Me too." The sound of jingle bells. Are there still human beings alive? With Wong taking the lead, Chunhua Qiyu and the joyousness also spoke up. Only the golden lion, steady pace, calm eyes, never say a word. His eyes locked on the big ship, deep in his eyes, there is endless killing intent. As long as Yibei gives an order, even if he is seriously injured now, will rush up without hesitation, smashing the big ship into pieces. I know. Just follow me. Yibei was very calm. Under the domain, he knew exactly what happened on the ship. On the ship, in a room, there is a red wireless satellite phone. The sound of the jingle phone came from there. All the people in the mercenary organization died. When he ate the person in charge before, he said that he passed all the information here. Yibei knew it very well. I am afraid that this call is just to prove something. Wow. When he reached the ship's side, Yibei directly used his head and rubbed the ship lightly, clattering loudly. The steel plates on the entire ship, like tofu, were all lifted, and the red phone just appeared in front of Yibei's eyes. The phone is very small. Compared to Yibei's huge body, it looked exactly like an ant. Chunhua Qiyu, having fun, Wong, and the golden lion also saw the red phone one after another, but they didn't understand what it was. As for Yibei, when I looked at this phone, my emotions were extremely complicated. Human memories began to resurface quickly in their minds, especially those phone numbers that would never be forgotten. This is an island, completely isolated. But the call in front of him was like a thin line. To some extent, it gave Yibei a faint hope. You are all here to guard. Wait for me. Chi. Spit out Shinzi, Yibei said this. Then his head slowly stretched toward the phone on the ship. The action is very slow, very light. I'm afraid that because my own power is too strong, anyone who doesn't pay attention will turn this phone into ashes. Wow. After a few seconds, under precise control, Yibei finally used that huge head to get the phone's microphone down. Okay. Remove the microphone. A cold light flashed in Yibei's eyes because a low growl came directly from the phone. Hey, this is an experimental island, right? I have seen your information. Are you a human or a mutant beast? On the other side of the phone, there was such a voice, cold, excited, and even through the phone, I could feel that murderous intent that could abandon everything for profit. I am the Titan Python. Chi. Yibei spit out Shinzi and replied unceremoniously. It's a pity that because of the domain coverage, when Yibei's voice was transmitted through this phone, it was just a beast. Mutated beast? Very good. It seems that those idiots really ruined the entire organization. But with this information, it is worth it. No matter what mutant beast you are, if you can understand my voice, if so, please tell your leader, the power of humans is far beyond your imagination. As long as I move my finger, your entire experimental island will completely turn into a piece of ashes in the Atlantic Ocean, and there will be no grass. Now, you are waiting there. I will send someone to take away a few mutant beasts and promise that I will never disturb your life again. Remember, this is not a deal, but a threat. In addition, My name is Ben. On the phone, the white man's voice was extremely arrogant. To the phone, said a series of humanity, greed. It's really their inferiority. Yi Bei's eyes were murderous. The 9 pythons and the golden lion guarding the boat could not hear the sound coming from the phone, nor did they understand why Yi Bei was so angry, but they were so smart that they did not dare to make any noise. Ben, we'll meet if we get the chance. Yi Bei narrowed his eyes. Knowing that the voice of oneself cannot be converted into human voice, let the Ben hear it, but he still answered in a very wicked and funny way. With the experience of turning on the microphone just now, Yi Bei's movements became more proficient, and he easily hung up the phone, not too lazy to listen to that idiot's voice. Then looking at the phone, there was obviously a period of thought. After more than 10 seconds passed, Yi Bei took a deep breath. The body is too huge. It's just this inhalation that caused a cold wind around him. I will find you. Chi. The letter was spitting out in his mouth, and then he tried his best to control the strength of his body. The huge body slowly pressed numbers on the phone. Next to the big ship, the golden lion and the 9 pythons became more and more curious. Wang is so strange today. Facing a human technology product, I didn't know what I was doing and even talked to myself. However, they dare not ask more. Beep. The first number. Beep. The second number. Beep. The third number. The power control is extremely precise, using only the upper part of the body and gently touching the buttons. When pressing the number, Yi Bei's emotions were constantly brewing. When I was still a human, make a phone call, communicate with people I know, and communicate with each other, it is no longer easy. But now, in addition to controlling the power of the body, he also has to maintain inner peace and psychological barriers. Under the combination of these various aspects, Yi Bei feels that compared to turning into a python, he devours crazily human beings are still suffering and difficult. 1 minute. 5 minutes. 5 minutes passed before Yi Bei pressed down all of the series of numbers. Finally, his eyes focused on a hands-free button on the phone. Just a touch. The phone will get through. She was. Are you okay? Looking at the hands-free button, Yi Bei's body was trembling slightly at this moment. Hoo. Although the storm was over, after the drastic temperature difference, the sea breeze continued for a while on the sea. A huge python with a body length of 120 meters occupies next to a big ship. The top of the ship was lifted. There are debris and steel plates everywhere. But a red wireless phone is completely placed in it. The snake, actually controlling the body, used that huge body to gently press the numbers on the red phone. This scene is absolutely shocking. The python has no hands. The body is too huge. It's like a human being. Instead of using his fingers, he uses his head and forehead to press a 10 times smaller cell phone. The difficulty can be imagined. But all of this doesn't seem to be too difficult for this giant python. Press all the numbers. Just the last button. But at this moment, the giant python stopped again. Call. Breathing became a little heavy. While the body was trembling slightly, the snake turned its head and looked at the giant snakes nearby. Chi. If you suddenly discover that you have become a human being one day, how would you choose? Spit the letter. Yi Bei's gaze swept over the golden lion, Wang Wan, Chunhua Qiuyue, and the joy of them one by one. Although there are some mutant beasts in front of them, they still have a certain IQ. Become a human? That's impossible. If it really becomes a human being, I must create a powerful weapon to protect the alien beasts of my original race. No matter what I become, I will definitely be loyal to the king. These pythons spit out letters and answered one after another. It's just that these answers can't satisfy Yi Bei. From a human to a python. If you don't experience this dual transformation from the spiritual to the physical level, you will never understand it. Okay, be quiet. Unable to get the answer he wanted, Yi Bei had to spit out such a sentence, and then moved very carefully on the phone and pressed the last button. Toot, toot, toot. Yi Bei waited quietly for the sound of the telephone connection. The other side. Donghai City is still that 50-story tall building. Jingle bell. In one of the offices, The sound of the phone was constant. This office originally belonged to Yi Bei. Only two people, Yi Bei and Gu Yu, can enter the entire company. On the experimental island, Yi Bei made this call instead of Gu Yu's cell phone because he thought, if something happens to herself, if Gu Yu still misses herself, she will definitely come to this office. If Gu Yu was in this office, then all my hard work is worthwhile, and then I must take back what belongs to me. If Gu Yu was no more, Yi Bei would be relieved. I am now a python. Gu Yu is human. There is basically no possibility of continuing to be together. In the future, to become stronger, just keep silent. Toot toot. The phone continued to ring. Yi Bei's mood has become more complicated, and at the same time he has more expectations. But the result of the matter far exceeded his Yi Bei's expectations. Because there was indeed someone in the office that originally belonged to Yi Bei, but that person, not Gu Yu. Drop. The call is connected. On the experimental island, Yi Bei's heartbeat suddenly accelerated and his eyes widened. Hey, I'm Yeshan. No matter who you are, if you don't give me a reasonable explanation, I will let you know what regret is. The voice was low, cold, and angry. Hearing this voice, Yi Bei immediately calmed down. It seems that after his accident, Yishan took over the company and moved into his office. For this younger brother, Yi Bei didn't have a lot of affection. He was too crazy, unscrupulous, insidious, cunning, and reckless. All of these words could be used in Yishan's body. After knowing that his death was deliberate, Yi Bei was most suspicious of Yishan. Only he could threaten Wang Dong's people and lead to their betrayal. However, this kind of suspicion is also the thing Yi Bei is most reluctant to admit. Yes, Han. The scarlet letter spit out. Yi Bei's mouth slowly spit out these two words. Chi. It's a pity that the domain and mental power can't cover the past at all. Yi Bei's voice. After reaching Yishan, there were only two sneers. Who are you? Yishan's tone became colder. This call is only known to some of the company's top management, and it is absolutely impossible for someone to make a boring call. Just when Yishan was about to go crazy, a woman's voice rang. Let me answer this call. Okay. Yi Bei, who had already recovered his calmness, shook his body again after hearing this sound. His eyes widened. This voice. Yi Bei could never forget it for the rest of his life. This voice is clearly Gu Yu. Chi. Chi. Next, Yi Bei spit out a letter frantically. A lot of questions came from his mouth, but when they reached the phone, there was only constant sneer and no communication. But just when Yi Bei was a little desperate, Gu Yu's voice unexpectedly came out again on the phone. Oh, it's Uncle Yi. Okay, I get it. I'll deal with it immediately. Gu Yu's voice was a little anxious. To say such a thing inexplicably is clearly acting. Uncle Yi? If it is correct, that is Yi Bei's father. What happened? Listening to the phone, Yi Bei was in a complicated mood, but also with many doubts. Gu Yu, don't be naive. My brother is dead, and my dad agrees with you to marry me, even if it's a call from him. So what? Give me the call. Inside, Yishan's voice came again. Laugh. Yi Bei, who was still puzzled, heard this voice, an unprecedented killing intent. A sneer erupted from his body. Own brother, Yishan, wanna grab your girlfriend? Moreover, Gu Yu's tone was clearly unwilling, and even making excuses to leave, Yishan also deliberately threatened. Bastard! What a bastard! At this moment, Yi Bei felt an unprecedented anger, and he wished to take the Snake Clan army back and take back all his belongings. What a do! What a do! What a do! In anger, Yi Bei's eyes became blood red. The 9 pythons beside the big ship felt terrified after feeling the change in Yi Bei's body. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Finally, the extremely angry Yi Bei slowly calmed down. Boom. Bang bang bang. Boom. Boom. Without speaking, Yi Bei knew that his own language could not communicate with Gu Yu so far away. Instead, he controlled his body and slammed into the big ship. The sound was very rhythmic. Once, pause, and then again. But on the other side, Guyu put the phone next to her ear. When she first heard this rhythm, she was a little confused. However, when the rhythm sounded continuously, her face suddenly stunned. Her eyes widened. The hand holding the phone began to tremble violently. I'm Yi-Bei. I'm still alive, waiting for my return. That rhythmic bang bang is clearly the Morse code that I learned with Yi-Bei back then. After the translation, it is such a sentence. Donghi City. Office. Guyu's hand trembled violently. His complexion was startled, but soon all his faces were excited. His eyes were wide. I wanted to say something, but after seeing Yishan next to him, he forcibly endured it. How about it, Guyu? Did my father say the same? Haha, I said it was useless. Behave well with me, my brother. His life is too short. It's worth all your thoughts is it spent on him? Looking at Guyu's strange appearance, Yishan thought his father was playing a role. As for Guyu, in the eyes, some water mist appeared at this moment. Okay, I see. If there is nothing to do, I will hang up first. Here is still a bit busy. I will be back soon. Hold back the excitement in your heart. He said this in a somewhat horrible voice. Wow. Then, holding the microphone with both hands, he hung up with a crash. Mr. Yi, I'm leaving now. Hanging up the phone, he said to Yishan. Guyu turned around and walked outside. Hee, let's go. Go home and think about it. I'll wait for your good news. Yi-Bei's voice was somewhat evil. After seeing Guyu turning around and leaving the office, his smiling eyes stopped immediately, and then there was endless coldness. Bitch girl, I really take myself seriously. See if you can win. Will you be so proud? One day, you will kneel under my crotch and beg me. After saying this, Yishan took the phone on the desk and glanced at the call that was coming. The tone was a little leisurely. Daddy is really leisurely enough. I went to the Atlantic side and used the phone number from the Atlantic side. Is this the past for my brother to collect the body? DDDD. Having said this, he quickly pressed his finger on the phone, calling a beautiful secretary of the company. I am in a good mood and want to share with the secretary. Experimental Island, on the beach. Boom. When the phone was hung up, Yi-Bei's huge body lifted up directly and then slammed into the big ship. There was a boom. The whole ship became turbulent in an instant. Wow. After a wave of waves rushed over, a lot of debris was taken away. Murderous aura boiled over him. He stared into the distance without speaking. The 9 pythons next to them were shaking, not daring to disturb. 10 minutes later, Yi-Bei slowly turned his gaze to Wang Wan, Chunhua Chiuyue, and the 9 boa constrictors. At the same time, the 9 pythons could clearly feel that there was a lot of coldness and indifference in their king's eyes. There are many ships around the experimental island. You can find a way to transport all of them here. In 3 days, it must be done. On the island, the mutant beasts that died in battle, as well as humans, put all their bodies away. On the boat, after all, there is so much food. I can't finish it these days. Chi-Chi. Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi, his voice cold.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
9 pythons, after hearing this, their eyes all lit up. Yes, the total number of mutant beasts still alive is only a few thousand, but there are too many mutant beasts on the entire island. If you eat them all in 3 days, you will definitely not be able to do it, but they are all packed. If you go, it is still very easy. Throwing away so much food is definitely a huge waste. You go. 3 days later, everyone will come together, and then we will go to the mercenary base together. Yi-Bei continued. The murderous aura on his body is too strong. The 9 pythons did not dare to delay any longer, twisted their bodies, quickly dispersed, and passed Yi-Bei's order as quickly as possible. On the beach, half of Yi-Bei's body was entrenched on it, and the other half of the body was erected. The sun is shining. When it shines on the body, there is a warm feeling. Logically speaking, in this case, the most appropriate thing is to have a full meal, but Yi-Bei has no appetite at all. 1 hour. 2 hours. 1 day. 2 days. In this way, after entrenched on this beach for 2 days, day and night, Bei finally spit out the letter again. Guyu, wait for me. And yes, Han, I will definitely go back. The scarlet letter child looked terrifying in the sun, but the murderous aura on his body quickly converged at this moment. Having said this, Bei said coldly to the system, System, if you find the mercenary base, can you unlock the information in that chip? Also, after the evolution of my Titan Python is completed, what is the next one? What kind of Python? Analyzing the chip technology, there must be there on the mercenary base. After the Titan Python, the host will evolve into the sky-swallowing Python, but information about the sky-swallowing Python is currently not available. The system answers immediately. One more thing. I remember you said before, because when I evolved from a blood python to a Titan Python, there was also a reticulated python in the middle. According to what you said, I evolve into a Titan Python and will evolve directly become the most advanced, but now, it doesn't seem to be the case. Bei's voice was cold. Host, now you are indeed the highest level of the Titan Python. The body length is 120 meters, the diameter reaches 300 centimeters, which is much stronger than the adult Titan Python, and it is only the preliminary stage. Once the 7 stages of evolution are completed in this case, although the host is the genes of the Titan Python, its true strength is definitely 100 or even 1,000 times greater than that of an adult Titan Python. Oh? Hearing the explanation of the system, Bei was slightly relieved. Indeed, after evolving from the reticulated python to the Titan Python, his strength has improved too much. Lifespan, size, diameter, all have changed dramatically. The explanation of the system can also make sense. I know. Bei nodded. Titan Python is indeed strong, but it is still not enough. Swallowing Python. There are even dragons. If you want to have enough power to fight back when facing humans, you must continue to evolve. Bei was already determined in his heart at this moment. The third day, a large number of mutant beasts began to return. Near the beach where Bei was located, there were also a large number of ships, some of which were mutant reticulated pythons, who commanded the mutant monkeys to drive over through wisdom. Some ships were directly pulled by some mutant beasts through brute force. On the island, all the leftover food was loaded on the ship. On the beach, the strong smell of blood, no matter how strong the sea breeze, cannot be dissipated. After 3 days, everything is ready. Bei glanced at the mutant beasts around him, and the powerful domain instantly covered. Then, the gift of ability is immediately opened. The strange atmosphere spread crazily across the beach. All the mutant beasts suddenly opened their eyes. Chi 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 chi. On the experimental island, on the beach, when Bei released the domain, the mutant beasts around him all stared scoffingly. Even Golden Lion, Wang Wan, Chunhua Qiyu, and Having Fun are no exception. As for Bei, after the domain was released, at the same time, he used the ability grant. In the mind, that group of mysterious halo immediately stretched out countless tentacles. Each tentacles fell precisely in the head of a mutant beast. Mysterious, weird, and full of miracles. And these tentacles, only Bei can see them. It was through this invisible tentacles that Bei gave these mutant beasts abilities. Do you feel like you have learned to move freely in the ocean? Chi-Chi, feeling the shock of the mutant beasts, Bei spit out Shinzi and spoke calmly. Yeah, it's amazing. I feel that I can easily run in the sea now. Me too. What's going on? It's like an innate ability. Hearing what Bei said, the mutant beasts said one after another. This is what I give to everyone. As long as everyone keeps a certain distance, this ability will always be effective. The experimental island is too small and no longer suitable for us, and the location is already known by humans. But the sea is different and endless, full of mystery, and even inexhaustible food. This will be our latest activity area, Bei continued. The voice was very calm. But after listening to these mutant beasts, their blood boiled over. They did not wonder how Bei bestowed them with abilities. In their view, Bei is absolutely omnipotent. Wang, we will go wherever you go. Follow the king's footsteps. We swear to follow the king. Chi-Chi. Whoa. Ho ho ho. Soon, these mutant beasts were shouting excitedly. There are a total of 169 ships docked nearby, but our number of mutant beasts is more than 4,000. After we will enter the sea, Chunhwa Kyu, 8 blood pythons will arrange for joy and joy. Everyone will also share these ships, and dragging it forward in the ocean. Can this be done? Yi Bei's eyes swept across these mutant beasts. This time, the mercenary base bombed the experimental island, which is considered to be some good. At least Yi Bei could clearly feel that even mutant beasts of different races surrendered to themselves from the bottom of their hearts. Although the number is small, but as long as there is enough time and enough food, it can grow up quickly. All these mutant beasts will become his loyal team of Yi Bei. Don't worry, King. These ships are not big. We can take them away easily. Wang, we can do it. Yes, King. Chunhwa Kyu, 8 blood pythons seeking pleasure, answered immediately. However, Wangwen was a little confused at this moment. After holding back for a long time, he couldn't help but ask Yi Bei, Wang, we can move freely in the sea, and there is enough food in the sea. Endless, there is no need to bring these ships and the corpses of mutant beasts along with them, right? I have my own plan. Yi Bei glanced at Wangwen and simply dropped such a sentence. The latter trembled and did not dare to say more. Zizi. After finishing the order, Yi Bei no longer hesitated. The muscles on his body were stretched and twisted, and the huge body moved on the beach. Wow! A few seconds later, the body that was hundreds of meters long slammed into the sea. Upon seeing this, Wangwen followed closely. Without any hesitation, then, the mutant reticulated pythons, the mutant lions, and all the mutant beasts on the experimental island, all madly dived into the sea. Wow! Wow! Thump! Puff puff! 100! 1,000 heads! 2,000 heads! 3,000 heads! The number is increasing. There were even some birds that unceremoniously got into the sea, and they were not brought out for a long time to breathe. There were waves of white waves in the sea near the beach. In this situation, a full 3 minutes passed. All mutant beasts entered the sea, and this was over. A part of the mutant beasts, under the command of Chunhwa Chioyue, 8 blood pythons for joy, pulled the boat forward. The other part, following around Yi Bei, did not dare to disperse. Whoosh whoosh. In the depths of the sea, Yi Bei swims in the forefront. However, after the domain was opened, he knew clearly the situation of the mutant beasts behind him. It was that Yi Bei had some psychological preparations before, and when he saw all the mutant beasts entering the sea, his heart was shocked. More than 1,000 mutant reticulated pythons, twisting their bodies, are densely gathered together, swimming extremely fast. The situation is different for those mutant beasts. For example, the mutant lions, they are in the sea. They are like on the land. Their limbs are swinging, as if they are running. Some mutant birds are waving their wings in the sea, and their speed is not much different than when they are flying in the air. What an incredible ability! Seeing these mutant beasts move freely in the ocean, all following behind, Yi Bei muttered to himself excitedly. Such a scene is too shocking and too miraculous. Who can imagine that a lion, a wild boar, or even a bird can move freely in the sea? To describe it as spectacular, they all seem too weak. Whoosh whoosh. Yi Bei is fast. Those mutant beasts are not slow. They can all keep up. Wow! On the Great Sea, 169 ships, under the traction of the mutant beasts, brave the wind and waves, constantly making noises. It's just that there are too many mutated beast corpses on these ships. The strong smell of blood spread in the air, even penetrated into the sea. When Yi Bei dived into the sea with the mutant beast group, less than 20 minutes later, a group of carnivorous marine fish smelled the smell. From behind Yi Bei's mutant beast group, they quickly chased up. For those carnivorous fish, they only approached the mutant beast group a little bit, and Yi Bei could perceive it clearly. It seems that the bait succeeded. Chi-Chi. In the sea, Yi Bei sniffed and spit out the letter, His originally fast-moving body stopped without warning. The mutant beasts behind them also stopped one after another. System: bestow finished evolution potions to all mutant beasts here. Yibei said such a sentence decisively. Yes, host. In the next second, a large number of green lines that only Yibei can see magically appeared from the sea of Yibei, and then dived into the breath of mutant beasts that had not yet evolved into the finished product. Mutant beasts who stopped, the body shook violently. The finished evolving medicine can directly increase the IQ of the beast. At the same time, coupled with the help of the system, all mutant beasts that obtain finished medicines can devour food endlessly and quickly transform the abilities required by the body, evolve, and grow, just like the mutant reticulated python. There is too much food in the sea. If it is simply swallowed, it will definitely cause a lot of waste. As for now, Yibei's spiritual power and domain coverage, it is certain that all the mutant beasts, regardless of race, are all truly surrendered to themselves, giving them evolution potions. There is no harm. Moreover, even if they have finished medicines, they cannot change their genes, but can only strengthen their strength. No matter how much prey is swallowed, there will never be a chance to surpass Yibei. This is also Yibei's greatest confidence in allowing the system to bestow their finished medicines. Whoosh whoosh. A lot of green lines spread. In less than 3 seconds, all the mutant beasts turned on their spiritual wisdom. Earlier, when these beasts were advancing in the sea, their eyes were full of animality. Except for following Yibei, there was basically no other appearance. But now it is completely different. After gaining wisdom, their eyes all lit up a lot. The gaze is constantly shooting in the sea. Those magical environments and strange underwater creatures have all become the objects of their observation. This transformation is the most direct manifestation of wisdom. Through novel foreign objects, self-learning is enhanced. Ability and necessary knowledge supplement. I seem to be different. What's going on? The inside of the head is clear. Is this the sea? What a magical place. So hungry. I really want to eat a lot. With eyes wide open, these mutant beasts stayed on the bottom of the sea and observed the surrounding conditions, and they kept opening their mouths to speak, appearing a little noisy. But those mutant reticulated python groups are much calmer. A lot of carnivorous fish are about to appear now. Wangwan, Chunhua Chiuyue, have fun. You are ready to lead a group of mutant beasts, ready to eat? Now, like you, they have the ability to continuously devour. Eat as much as you can. During this time, become as strong as possible. Yibei's voice was cold. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
9 pythons answered one after another. Immediately afterwards, they didn't need Yibei Duo to speak. They already knew what to do. In less than 3 minutes, the originally dense group of strange animals was divided into 9 teams, led by 9 pythons. In a special way, the 9 pythons have enhanced Yibei's wisdom for everyone, and the news that there will be a large number of fish coming over will be completely passed on. Immediately afterwards, all the mutant beasts stopped in the sea, with murderous aura, forming a shocking picture far beyond common sense. As for Yibei, his eyes were indifferent. After feeling the school of fish, his mental power quickly released, and the 30-kilometer diameter range instantly expanded. The school of fish has entered Yibei's mental power range. Yibei was absolutely well aware of the situation at this moment. But when he saw those fishes, Yibei was still slightly surprised when he was excited. The number of this school of fish is really huge. Chi-Chi. Shinzi spit out from his mouth. Because of the blessing of his power, the seawater would not directly rush into Yibei's mouth. About 10 kilometers away from the mutant beast group, the scene can be said to be very shocking. Fishes with data exceeding at least 1 million formed in the shape of a tornado in the sea and then moved rapidly in an S shape. These fishes are all of the same race. The head is about the size of the palm of an adult human. The color of the body is gray-black. Whoosh whoosh. Extremely fast. A giant marine fish with a body length of more than 20 meters was swept in by the tornado. In the blink of an eye, there were only a pile of white bones left in this marine fish. At the same time, Yi-Bei could clearly see that there were bright teeth growing in the mouths of these fishes. Each tooth was sharp. Very. Piranha? Seeing this, Yi-Bei's body trembled slightly. Of course, the piranhas were only Yi-Bei's first reaction now. He really couldn't identify the races of these fishes. However, through this situation, Yi-Bei felt a great danger. There are too many fishes. If you are really involved, once the number reaches a certain level, you may have to confess to the ocean. Bang, bang, bang. The heartbeat speeds up again. It seems that I still underestimated the creatures in the sea. This is simply a brand new and dangerous world. Huh. His eyes swept over the surrounding mutant beasts. Chi-Chi. This time, Yi-Bei spoke in person. Give me. There are a lot of carnivorous fishes near us. It should have come after smelling the smell from the ships above. Get ready. Now your body has the ability to self-heal. You just keep devouring them. The number of those fishes is too large, so you must be careful. Besides, gather them all together and don't disperse them. Yi-Bei's tone was more serious than ever. Those fishes can bring a lot of evolution points and gene points, but the danger is self-evident.
Yes.
Yes, King. Yes. Whoosh whoosh. The mutant beasts, although they couldn't understand why Yi-Bei had brought everyone together at this moment, they did not dare to delay Yi-Bei's order. For the first time, they gathered around Yi-Bei. Whoosh whoosh. Wow. Hoo. In the distance, the tornado is getting closer. Such a voice finally reached the ears of all mutant beasts through the water waves. What happened? A lot of fish. Food. No, there is something wrong with this feeling. We are in trouble. It's murderous. Soon, these mutant beasts became anxious. Although there is a lot of food cravings, the same feeling of crisis is constantly rising in their minds. At this time, Yi-Bei did not continue to explain. Although the tornado was terrifying, as long as this victory was achieved, it would be the most exciting thing for the entire mutant beast group. 1 minute. 2 minutes. The tornado is getting closer. Chi-Chi. Within 3 minutes, the mutant beasts surrounding Yi-Bei all sneered and opened their eyes wide, because they could finally see clearly. Not far away, millions of fish gathered in together. A black tornado was formed and rushed over quickly. In the sky, a red sun hangs in the sky. The dazzling light spilled from it, penetrating the sea and shining at least 10 meters deep. The sea. It is the cradle of countless lives. There are countless food, resources, and even treasures inside. But in the same way, there are endless dangers hidden in the sea. Various giant sea creatures. There are countless carnivorous fish. 1 or 2 is not enough to be afraid of, but when there are enough, any living creatures will become food for those fishes. Just like now. Looking at the black tornado, Yi-Bei realized that when he was about to come over, he had made a mistake in judging the degree of danger in the sea. This huge number made Yi-Bei feel frightened. But this is definitely not a reason to escape or avoid. A fish is just a little evolution point. At the same time, according to the information given by the system, he can obtain at least 100 gene points from these fishes. With these alone, Yi-Bei would never give up. Gosh, what is this? Very scary. This number is too much? Wong, really want to resist? Rao is Wong Wan, Chunwa Kuyu, looking for pleasure, can't help but say after seeing the black tornado. These are all food. This time I don't limit the amount. As long as you have the patience, you can eat as much as you want. You all know the benefits of eating more food. In addition, any retreat, escape, all will die. Yi-Bei's voice was cold. There are indeed a lot of these fishes, but this has only just entered the sea. The mutant beasts, there are still too many battles to fight. This is just the beginning and retreats. What should I do later? Moreover, this is also an opportunity for training. The sea is definitely the best training battlefield. After hearing what Yi-Bei said, the mutant beasts who were still a little retreated immediately stabilized. Have seen Yi-Bei's strength. They all knew very well that there was hope of survival in the face of these fishes. Once they resisted Yi-Bei, they would definitely die. What's more, These fish can also be used as food to evolve their bodies. After thinking about this, the body of the mutant beasts also exudes an extremely powerful aura. Ho ho ho. Zizi. D. Fur. Oh. The fighting spirit was boiling, and he roared in the sea unexpectedly. 1,000 meters. 500 meters. 100 meters. EBay concentrated his mental energy and paid attention to those fishes all the time. Click, click. When the distance was only 50 meters, Ebay's body made a click sound. His muscles contracted crazily, bones creaked. The majestic power hidden in his body suddenly exploded. Chi. Immediately afterwards, on the surface of Ebay's body, where the original protrusion was, something sharp, resembling a blade, exuded a cold light. Whoosh! At the next instant, Ebay moved. Originally, the limit speed was 80 m/sec, but in the sea, his capacity doubled. His Ebay's speed exploded to 160 m/section. What is this concept? Anyway, the mutant beasts surrounding Ebay's body were originally focused on fish. Then, in a blink of an eye, they discovered that Ebay had disappeared from the spot. That huge body rushed directly into the black tornado. Chi. Wherever he went, the sneer continued. The blue water was immediately flooded with bright red blood. The protruding blades on the surface of Ebay's body are definitely the most powerful weapon for the tornado. Boom. Click, click. Similarly, after Ebay rushed into the fishes, those fishes that were not cut by the blade, their sharp teeth, biting Ebay's body crazily. Such a voice kept ringing. It's a pity that Ebay's skin is too hard to even be injured by rockets. When these fish bite, it is like biting on an iron plate. Great. Ebay was the first to rush in. Disturb the tornado. Whoosh whoosh. When he was pointing, he opened his mouth. A large number of fishes were constantly being swallowed by him, and the sound of the system was constantly resounding. Congratulations to the host for gaining +1 evolution points. Congratulations to the host for gaining +1 evolution points. Congratulations to the host for gaining gene points +1. Although there is only one reminder every time, I can't bear enough. Almost every second, the fish swallowed are counted in thousands. So powerful. This is the real strength of the king? Great. Too strong. Watching the sea water dyed red by the blood of the tornado, watching Ebay rush in and slaughter wantonly, devouring it crazily. All the mutant beasts were stunned and muttered to themselves. Hoo. Soon, the fear in their hearts was wiped out, and the strong smell of blood made their appetite even stronger. Heavy breathing. Whizzing. In the next moment, all the mutant beasts went crazy into the battle. Click. Puff. Puff. Ho ho ho. In the bottom of the sea, the fight was extremely fierce. The sun fell on the sea. The originally blue sea water was surging from the depths with dark red colors, like roses in full bloom. But under this beautiful color, there are mutant beasts and herds. When tornadoes met, they were dyed red with blood. During the battle, all the mutant beasts who had just been baptized by the finished evolution potion were as if they had discovered a new world. Bang, bang, bang. A mutant orangutan patted its chest continuously, making a muffled sound on the bottom of the sea. When he saw the fish approaching, he directly stretched out his hand, grabbed it, and put it in his mouth unceremoniously. I just wanted to fill my stomach a little. However, when the fish entered his mouth, he was shocked to find that the fish had all been transformed into a stream of pure energy, spreading freely in the body. The feeling was more refreshing than any food he had eaten before, and this energy obviously made the body stronger. With this discovery, the gorilla can be described as ecstatic. Use both hands and feet together. In the sea, this guy even opened his mouth directly, stuffing food into his mouth as crazy as possible. 1, 10, 100, 500. My body seems to have become an underfilled black hole, constantly swallowing, and the strength in the body is constantly increasing. Occasionally, the body is bitten by these fishes, but as long as the food is eaten, the injured place, All will heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. This gorilla is just one of these thousands of mutant beasts. When they all discovered the abilities they possess, the final result made Yi-Bei, who was fighting frantically, amazed. When he just felt the fish appear, he was a little worried that once the impact was on, some mutant beasts would instantly become bones. But now, the form is completely inverted. The crazy mutant beasts, the power displayed is completely against the sky. Ho ho ho. In the sea, where the mutant beasts and the black tornado meet, it's all blood red. Those colors blocked part of the line of sight. However, nothing can stop the determination of the mutant beasts to swallow them. Ho ho ho. A mutated lion that has just been transformed by a finished product evolution potion, with its mouth wide open, with a huge roar from its mouth, and its body is like a sharp arrow from the black, drawing a golden afterimage in the sea. The degree is too fast. Plus, the hair on the body is too thick. Any fish that came close to him would be knocked off instantly. The open mouth is like a net bag. As long as there is a fish in front of it, it will be swallowed instantly. Mutant lions, mutant wolves, mutant birds, mutant orangutans, monkeys, each one, is like the coming of the of war. Gaining the ability to move freely in the sea, these original overlords on the ground have become more powerful in the sea because of the temptation of evolution. Whoosh whoosh. Chi-chi. The same goes for those mutant reticulated pythons. Moving his body quickly, his mouth wide open, like shadows in the school of fish, this swallowing degree made Yi-Bei amazed. It seems that this time, the overall strength will improve a lot. Feeling the surrounding situation, Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi. He knew that this time, the mutant beasts had won. The ability to move freely under the sea, plus the finished evolving medicine. Not to mention this kind of ordinary carnivorous fish, even if the giant sharks come, facing this group of abnormal mutant beasts, it is estimated that they will be swallowed up in minutes. Of course, this is not equal in number. Case. Although the mutated beasts are now showing very strong strength, they are all carnivorous fish the size of human palms. And these fish have sharp teeth, but they are small. Once you encounter a real piranha or a school of sharks, when the number reaches a certain level, at least Yi-Bei won't rush up like this time. Click, click, puff, puff. At the scene, the devouring continued. Thousands of mutant beasts. After the fish can make their bodies stronger, they all seem to be crazy. As for Yi-Bei, there was nothing to stop him this time. There are so many fish in the ocean. No matter how these mutant beasts eat, they are not afraid of running out of resources. After the situation became clear, Yi-Bei continued to devour it. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. In less than 3 minutes, the number of fish in the tornado that Yi-Bei swallowed reached 100,000. Obtained hundreds of thousands of evolution points. 100 points for genetic evolution. Of course, if you continue to swallow it, perhaps the number of gene points will not increase, but the number of evolution points will definitely continue to increase. However, when Yi-Bei swallowed more than 100,000, the original number of tornadoes that numbered more than 1 million suffered heavy losses. The surrounding sea water is all dyed red by blood. Those fishes finally felt danger and fear. They had been gathering in groups, but they fled in all directions. However, many mutant beasts saw the fish escaping, as if their eyes were red, and they followed behind. After this happened, Yi-Bei could only stop it. Everyone, don't run around. Keep a certain distance with me. This is the sea. Once you get away from the distance of 30 kilometers, your ability to move freely in the water will fail, and you won't know how you die. Chi-chi. Spit the letter. These words are still mixed with powerful mental power. The voice is not very loud, but the powerful mental power directly acts on the minds of all mutant beasts. Upon hearing this voice, those crazy beasts, it calmed down instantly. Whoosh whoosh. Wang Wan, Chunhua Qiu, and 9 boa constrictors swam to Yi-Bei with the fastest speed. The blood red in his eyes has not dissipated. The body trembled slightly, obviously because of excitement. Wang, this time we made a lot of money. Everyone ate a lot this time. By the way, The taste of these fishes is awesome, not worse than the mutant beasts. The 9 pythons talked one after another. At this moment, they are full of expectations for the sea. They have just entered the sea and have a full meal, and there will surely be even greater surprises next. It's almost enough to swallow it. Don't forget, everyone. Now our goal is the mercenary base. According to the information I got, the mercenary base is 500 kilometers away from the experimental island. With our mobility, no, it will be over in one day. Undersea creatures have a chance to eat again. Yi Bei's voice was cold. Okay. However, this sentence has just finished. His eyes suddenly stared. After his command was finished, a large number of mutant beasts quieted down and surrounded them. Whoosh whoosh. But now, Yi Bei could clearly see that a blood eagle that had been mutated through the finished product evolution potion, waving its wings, was like a scary red lightning in the sea, still devouring the escaped fish madly. 16 OM/SEC. The blood eagle's degree definitely exceeded this number. Because if Yi Bei didn't use mental power, the naked eye would not be able to catch the blood eagle's degree. Now it's a good fellow. Spit out Shinzi, Yi Bei continued to mutter. The 9 pythons next to me don't understand. Whoosh. However, in the next moment, Yi Bei did not explain. The muscles in his body exploded with extreme power, turning into a black shadow in the sea, and with a swish, he rushed towards the blood eagle that was continuing to devour fish. Haha. Yi Bei's degree is too fast. It wasn't until Yi Bei rushed hundreds of meters away that the 9 pythons and the mutant beasts around them reacted. Swish, looked at the direction where Yi Bei was. Then, they immediately understood what was going on. Is that a mutant blood eagle? It's so fast. Yeah, but this guy will definitely be miserable if he doesn't listen to the king's orders. Yes, the king seems to be angry. Fear spread in the hearts of these mutant beasts, opening their mouths from time to time, and their voices were very low. As for Yi Bei, he was very curious about the blood eagle that was as fast as lightning. After rushing to the front in the blink of an eye, he directly blocked the blood eagle with his huge body. King! Xian Yi Bei suddenly appeared in front of him, and the blood eagle immediately stopped his movements. His eyes showed fear, and his mouth made a squeak, transforming it into a respectful language. Your degree is very good. Come, attack me and try. Chi-Chi. Yi Bei squinted his eyes and told him instinctively that there was a treasure. This blood eagle might become his third apostle. Under the sea, deep. The bright red blood dyed all the blue sea water red, and his sight was deeply blocked at this moment. However, these red waters will not have any effect on Yi Bei. Similarly, these mutant beasts, with their eyes wide open, can still see what is happening. Wow! When all the mutant beasts heard Yi Bei actually let a blood eagle attack him, they shook instantly. Yi Bei's strength is recognized by all mutant beasts. Against Yi Bei, only death will end. That blood eagle obviously did not expect that Yi Bei would say this. If he would have caused such trouble long ago, even if he was given 100 courage, he would not dare to swallow countless Yi Bei's previous orders. Crazy. Those fish that are ready to escape. Wang I dare not. The wings retracted. Head down. When talking, he didn't even dare to look at Yi Bei. After the finished medicine evolves, the blood eagle's IQ is no worse than that of humans. He knows very well what will happen if he chooses wrongly. As for Yi Bei, squinting his eyes, quietly looking at the blood eagle. The shock inside is getting bigger and bigger. If the wings of the blood eagle are all spread out, it will be nearly 3 meters long. On both feet, the sharp claws are extremely sharp, as if they can kill everything. Even Yi Bei, after seeing such sharp claws, felt a sense of danger, as if he couldn't even cut the wound with a bomb. The skin is very likely to be injured by this kind of claw. In addition, the blood-red blood eagle, even the blood-red blood eagle, looks so handsome. When suspended in the sea, it is like a group of exquisite flames, exuding a sense of mystery. Host, this blood eagle is not ordinary, and its evolution is different from other blood eagles. He is extremely sensitive to blood. blood will make him go crazy and evolve quickly, and his own strength can also pass the battle become stronger. Compared to the golden lion, it has potential. When Yi-Bei stared at the blood eagle, the voice of the system unexpectedly resounded in his mind. It was a little hesitant. Hearing the voice of the system, the last trace of doubt in Yi-Bei's heart was dispelled. At this moment, Yi-Bei had already determined the usefulness of this blood eagle. Let you attack. You attack? If you don't use your full strength, don't blame me for eating you. Chi-Chi. Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi, his voice cold. The blood eagle's body trembled slightly. He was deeply afraid of Yi-Bei, and in the same way, he did not dare to disobey Yi-Bei's orders. Yes, King. Squeak. When I said this, my voice was still trembling. Wow. However, in the next instant, the blood eagle suddenly opened its wings. When the 3-meter-long wings were spread out, a huge force formed in the sea. Whoosh! At the next moment, the wings were just a flap, and the thrust generated was to make his speed reach the extreme. Chi-Chi. At the same time, Yi-Bei observed clearly. After the blood eagle moved, the sharp claws on his feet stretched out, and the cold light continued. Wong, be careful. Say this out of your mouth. Puff. Then, the blood eagle turned into a red lightning directly in the sea and rushed towards Yi-Bei. So fast. The degree of this guy. Awesome, this blood eagle. However, it is definitely not the king's opponent. The mutant beast's onlookers had fear in their eyes, and their voices were very small. So fast. At this time, Yi-Bei's concentration was unprecedented. His eyes narrowed slightly, all the muscles on his body were tight, and he locked on the blood eagle. 100 meters. 50 meters. 1 meter. Coming. Laugh. When the blood eagle approached, Yi-Bei's eyes suddenly opened up, and his body burst to the extreme. Booming. The huge body set off a terrible wave in the sea and drew it towards the blood eagle fiercely. Boom. Laugh. The blood eagle is fast, but compared to Yi-Bei, it is still a little worse. After rushing to Yi-Bei's side, his sharp claws stretched out, but in the next instant, Yi-Bei was slammed away. Ha ha ha. I said he is not the king's opponent. This garbage. The mutant beasts were a little worried just now, but now, they are all happy, and they laughed one by one. No matter how fast the blood eagle is, what would happen if Yi-Bei took a photo of him without a face? But, at this time, Yi-Bei didn't feel that kind of victory at all. Eyes were staring at the blood eagle that was shot flying out, and there was still a surviving blood eagle, deep in his eyes, with a bit of shock. No mutant beasts observed that at the moment when Yi-Bei shot the blood eagle, the sharp claw rubbed Yi-Bei's body. In the place where it was rubbed, there was a hole about 1 centimeter long. There was no bleeding, but the pain was felt more clearly than Yi-Bei. Huh. Turning back, his gaze swept across the mutant beasts. You all shut up, be quiet. The voice was cold, and then his eyes were placed on the blood eagle again. System. This guy is indeed very good. Yes, let it be my third apostle. The voice did not hesitate.
Yes.
A white light appeared and rushed into the blood eagle's head. Then Yi-Bei suddenly realized that he had established a certain mysterious connection with the blood eagle. He could take the life of the blood eagle at any time as long as he wanted to. In the same way, this blood eagle was already completely to Yi-Bei. The state of surrender. When the apostle took effect, the golden lion and Wangwen were also startled, and their eyes became extremely soft when they looked at the blood eagle. Wangwen, catch a few fishes and feed them to this blood eagle. After accepting the blood eagle as an apostle, Yi-Bei said to Wangwen. Whoosh whoosh. After listening to Wangwen, he immediately caught the fish. Blood eagle, right? From now on, you are my apostle. Do things for me in the future, and today, I will give you a brand new name, Blood Moon. Yi-Bei's body was suspended in front of the blood eagle. Spit out the letter, and said very seriously. The blood eagle is very weak now, but still can't die. After hearing what Yi-Bei said, his eyes were filled with unprecedented excitement. To be Yi-Bei's apostle is really a great honor for him. Besides, You don't have to follow me anymore from now on. I want you to take all the Blood Eagle teams and fly to the human world to find a woman named Guyu. Her address and appearance. I have past spiritual power has reached your mind. Remember, when you go there, follow Guyu's orders to make sure that no one can hurt him. At the same time, ask me for information about a man called Ben. Well, I will go over and solve it myself when that happens. Yibei continued to talk about the appearance of Guyu. In the company's address, through his mental power, directly transferred to Shueiyue's mind. After receiving the information, Shueiyue's body was slightly startled. Chi-Chi. At this time, Wang Wen had already caught thousands of fish and returned, snortingly swam over, putting all the fishes in front of the moon.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.